It wasn't a regular feud between management and workers. What happened at Maruti Suzuki's Manesar plant this week was all-out mayhem. A 50-year-old general manager, Awinash Kumar was brutally beaten by workers, his legs smashed and then left to die in a fire as a mob of workers went after the plant's management. His body was burnt so badly that it took more than a day to identify him, and that too through a tooth. More than 90 workers have been arrested since then, but a special investigation team is now on the hunt for the 12 main accused.
मिस्र की घटना ना घटे ताकि किसी का परिवार ना उजड़े।
Avnish Kumar Dev's younger brother Amitabh cannot believe his brother is dead. The entire Dev family devastated. Avnish was burnt to death by labour workers on Wednesday at Maruti's Manesar factory.
The news now from Manesar, the company's general manager.
And to add to the horror, the family came to know about Avinash's death through the news on TV.
न्यूज़ देखकर हमने फोन किया उनको, तो बोलते हैं नहीं, पता ही नहीं चला मिसिंग है अभी भी।
Avnish's death came as a fight between a line worker and his supervisor at Maruti's Manesar plant grew out of control, with workers setting buildings on fire and attacking management with car parts.
सिंपल सी बात है कि ये घटना नहीं लग रही है, ये एक बहुत बड़ी कंपनी की साजिश है और एम्प्लॉय की साजिश है, जिससे एक निर्दोष व्यक्ति की असाधारण रूप से मौत हुई है।
लेबर्स थे, काफ़ी मतलब झड़प हो गया था और उन्होंने आग लगा दिया था और तो भैया उसमें ही इंज्योर हो गए थे और उनका पूरा बॉडी जल गया। जलने के बाद डीएनए टेस्ट हुआ तो उससे पता चला और फिर मेरे जो नंदोसी हैं अनिल जी, वो दिल्ली में जाके उन्होंने कंफर्म किया कि ये भैया हैं।
And as we look at that mayhem in Manesar, should there be a crackdown on militant trade unionism? This is actually a story that has many, many shades of grey as well. It's not about one side against the other. And, joining us on the program tonight, we have K. Ram Kumar, who was a friend of Mr. Dev, who died in that violence there in Manesar. He's written a very emotional email to the media today about what has happened. Mr. Mani Shankar Iyer and Paranjoy Guha Thakur continue to stay with us. We will be joined shortly by Gurudas Das Gupta of the CPI, and Sohail Seth joins us tonight as well. Mr. Ram Kumar, you wrote in your email today that this is not just an ordinary industrial dispute. Explain to us, your anger on this, to see your friend die like this. I know this must be a very difficult time for you, and obviously you are very, very angry.
I am. Avnish and I and 35 others, we shared a dormitory for many years. I can't imagine what system of justice and what system of anger will make people break a person's leg and leave him there to suffocate and burn. And I do not know what dispute resolution is this. And this is murder. Let us be very clear about it. This is murder like any mob violence, whether it is happening in a communal violence or whether it is anything. And no cause can justify this murder. And I know the criminal justice system in this country will not help us. I am here in defiance to protest against this murder of a dear friend of ours.
I'm really sorry for your loss, Mr. Ram Kumar, and I can see the very visible anger there. Let me just get to the rest of the panel first tonight. Sohail Seth, is militant trade unionism back in this country? We hadn't seen it for a very long time. Is it back?
I would go one step forward and say there is some undefinable rage that is engulfing most of India, and people, especially within the trade union movement, believe that they are being deprived of their rights. Whether that's true or false, we don't know the contours of this particular incident. But the reality is it does more damage than good. For instance, it makes states like Haryana, which is a well-developed, prosperous state, then sink into the morasses from which it won't recover. I was born and raised in Calcutta. I saw what trade unionism and militant trade unionism did to manufacturing in Calcutta, or for that matter in large parts of West Bengal, and it brought about a long spell of ruin which continues sadly to this day. It's not about conflict resolution, it's about the mechanism in which we believe that we can resolve conflict. The fact that we can take the law into our own hands, the fact that justice for those who commit these crimes is not as swift as it should be, the fact that we don't implement labor laws with alacrity that we should, the fact that firing in India is still very, very difficult. So, you have a system which is self-destructive at the core. So it's not about just the politics, it's also about the policy. It's also about the willingness to come to terms with this, because a lot of the trade union movements then fuel the political parties that exist. So they are as parasitical as everyone else. So you need a solution which is bottom-up rather than top-down. You won't be able to stop this with police intervention. You will not expect the politicians to react with the kind of immediacy that they should. This is something that requires urgent attention. Haryana will suffer. More importantly, brand India will be shamed for no reason.